Okay, we're going to dive into the Jones Christenson surf shapes. All these boards offer a unique rocker profile, 3D contoured bases, and these are all inspired from surfing, and specifically Christenson's fastest rocker profile and curves to make for this incredibly free friction experience gliding down the mountain. This is the Storm Wolf. This is the real fall line charger in the surf series. This longer side cut, it's such a nice feeling. You roll it on edge and it just draws these beautiful lines and swallows up chop and just has you moving down the hill with a lot of efficiency. You won't feel it, but I find myself, I'm riding 10 miles an hour faster with the same effort as, say, a board with a tighter side cut. Floats really well in POW. It's got this awesome nose, a lot of spoon in it, and then the swallowtail, which allows the tail to sink and keep the nose up and floating good. This allows you to really ride POW in a centered stance. You don't have to fight to keep the nose up all the time. And I find myself riding this thing a lot and often in the bumpy hardpack stuff. I just love, it's a very camber heavy profile and it swallows up chop and fall line. Christenson Storm Chaser here. I know how good of a season I've had by how many days I ride this board. Because if it is POW, this is my go-to board. This board is the only board with full surf rocker in the line. So this is Christenson's fastest rocker. When you are on snow, it is the most friction-free glide you have ever felt. The end result is it can take say a 20-degree slope of deep powder, and because it glides so fast, it's like you're on a 30-degree slope. It's a ton of board compressed in a small shape. And what's blown my mind with it, it's incredible and technical, deep, steep spines. If I'm kind of not super excited to get out that day, I'll bring this board on perfect groomers, get out there first chair. The width of it allows you to make these really round, super tight turns, low to the ground, and truly surf the mountain. The Jones Mind Expander. This board, as you can see, it's got a lot of taper, so tail sinks really well, and then a nose that is virtually unsinkable. What I love about that is you can ride this thing really front foot in powder. I love it in deep, steep terrain because the nose really floats above any hard transitions or what have you. The shorter tail allows you to pivot, and I find myself putting turns on the mountain with this board in places that I could never put turns on the mountain, say hanging steeps or something, or a really technical steep face that I once would maybe make 2 turns on. I can now come down and just tick my way down it. We brought in a bunch of camber to this board recently, and that's just opened up its ability to handle chop. One of the easiest boards to ride in the Jones line in any condition, and one of the most fun. The Mind Expander Twin. This is a really fun freestyle focus board that brings all those playful, floaty properties from the surf shapes, meets a twin, and what you get is just really easy to ride. You can just mash corn, what have you, anything on this board. The nose and tail have really nice slight rocker in them. They're like virtually impossible to catch. Another cool feature with this board is, say it hasn't snowed in a while, you mount it as a true twin, go ride park, you do whatever you want, get technical freestyle, and then it snows 3 feet and you move the stance back, and now you got this killer directional board with a ton of nose and you can sink the tail. It's wider than any of our other twins in the line and has a really playful flex, and it's one of those boards that inspires you to be creative when you get on it. You just see the mountain like this all mountain skate park or beach break to keep it in the surf vibes. As you see, this Jones Christenson Surf Series offers a really wide spectrum of how you would go about riding the mountain in these 4 shapes. You have the Storm Chaser, the full surf rocker that just floats so well. It's the most friction-free glide you'll ever feel. You have the Storm Wolf, which is really this fall line charger that still has a nice nose to float and pow, but that long side cut, when you put it on rail, that wolf wants to run. And then the Mind Expander, which is big nose, tapered tail, but full camber, tight side cut, so it's really easy to carve, and just the noodle machine. The nose is almost impossible to bury. And then the Mind Expander Twin, which is just freestyle meets skate park meets surf, just sky's the limit. If you can dream it, it can do it.